Hey friend, welcome back to the Quiet Rebellion, and I am really glad that you're here for this one, even though, or maybe especially because, this is our final episode. I've been sitting with how to say this for a little while now. Is that sitting with something, turning it over slowly, making sure it's right before you can act on it. That's exactly what the show has always been about. So I suppose that's fitting. Let's talk. One of the things I've talked about on this show more than once is the courage it takes to stop, to opt out, to say, I don't want to do the status quo. I want to do something different. To look at something and say, this no longer serves the life I'm trying to build, and to actually let it go and do something different rather than just talking about it. It turns out that's harder in practice than it sounds in theory. I know. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. And the truth is, when I started the Quiet Rebellion, I had a lot of high hopes for conversations that we would have here and things we could learn. And I think that we did that. I started the Quiet Rebellion because I genuinely believe in everything it stands for. Slowing down, living with intention, pushing back against the pressure to produce and consume and hustle and optimize endlessly. And I still believe in all of that. I'm not going to be doing anything wildly different. But more than ever, honestly, somewhere along the way, this podcast started to feel like another thing on the list, another deadline, another obligation pulling at me, pulling away from my life. And it wasn't really adding to the conversation in a way that I felt good about. My life is already full, and I refuse to let something called the Quiet Rebellion become a source of frantic energy in my life. That's not right. It's not honest. You deserve better. The conversations can serve you better. There are people who are having these conversations and talking about these ideals in podcast and video form everywhere. My first love has always been writing, and while I still embrace talking and doing video, writing is probably always going to be where I am most at home at, whether or not the current state of the internet allows that. And you deserve some honesty. So I'm going to practice what I preach. I'm choosing less. I'm choosing intention over momentum. And I'm closing this show with a lot of gratitude, a whole lot of gratitude, and a full heart rather than just running it into the ground and stressing out every month about if I can find guests or what I want to talk to you about and how I can do that in a meaningful way. I wanted to take a moment to talk about what we have built here because I don't want to rush past it. When I say I started this show, I wasn't sure anyone was yearning for the same things I was. Yes, I know I have the blog, and people have followed me for a long time about slow, simple, and seasonal living. And I want to continue that. I want to continue to build a community that goes deeper than a comment section. And you all showed up, and we had some really amazing guests and conversations. And there are a lot of us out here who are tired, not lazy, but soul tired. Tired of the pace of modern life, tired of constantly doom scrolling and shopping as a hobby. We are quietly, stubbornly, joyfully refusing to accept that busyness is the same thing as a life well lived. And I think that's what we talked about a lot. Every conversation I had on this show reminded me that rebellion isn't loud. It happens in kitchens and gardens, in the decision to go to bed instead of scroll, in the choice to consume less, to make do, to mend, to do something with our hands, in the letter that we write instead of the text, in the meal that we cook from scratch, for no reason, just because we want to eat and it matters. You are all doing that work, and I see it. And it has meant everything to me to be even a small part of it. Here's what I keep coming back to, and I want to offer to you in case it's useful. Ending something intentionally is not a failure. I'm not a quitter, but I recognize that I can't do everything well, and I want to focus on the things that I can do. And so sometimes the most countercultural thing we can do in a world that measures worth by output and longevity and follower counts is to say, this was good, it was real, it's complete. And that takes a kind of courage. I hope that you'll apply that same grace to your own life when you need it, to the commitments that have run their course, to the habits that once served you and no longer do, to the relationships and projects and obligations that deserve a thoughtful ending rather than a slow fade. Endings are not failures. Sometimes they're just the next right thing. The spirit of the show, everything we've talked about here, that continues. It continues in me, and I suspect it continues in you. My main home online is Homespun Seasonal Living. That's a blog at homespunseasonalliving.com, and it's been there for a long time. That's where I write about simple and seasonal living and share herbal projects and gardening ideas and foraging tips, homemaking and recipes. The whole slow and rooted life that we had as a basis here at the Quiet Rebellion. It has the same heartbeat as this podcast, just in a different form. I have an email list there that I love deeply. I share heartfelt things, I share tutorials, I share what I hope is encouraging, just ideas to help you feel better. Email feels right for this kind of community. It's personal, it's unhurried, it arrives in your inbox like a little letter. They very much are letters, rather than demanding your attention in a feed. If you want to stay connected, that's my favorite place to do it. You can find me at homespunseasonalliving.com and sign up for the newsletter there, and I'll put the link below. And if you love actual letters, real paper and ink arriving in your actual mailbox, I have a few things that you can do. The first is called the Seasonal Whisper, which is a subscription that comes 4 times a year with an encouraging letter, stickers, games, little gifts, recipes, and ideas to just help you live more simply and more seasonally in a calm, not overwhelming, not hustle kind of way. And I'm going to have something else in the works. It's going to be called the Letter Circle. It's a small, intimate subscription for people who want something real in their hands. Details will be on my site and in my emails soon. I'd love to have you be a part of it. The Quiet Rebellion is not a podcast. It never really was. It's a choice you make every morning when you decide how to spend your attention. It's the boundary you hold even when it's inconvenient. It's the garden you tend, the bread you bake, the evening you protect from the noise of the world. It's slower and smaller and more sustainable than anything an algorithm can measure. You don't need this show to keep rebelling. You never did. You already know how to do it. You've known for a while. So go live it, tend it, your life like it matters, because it does. Thank you for every listen, every share, every moment you spent here with me. It has been one of the genuine honors of my creative life. Please find me again online or at Homespun Seasonal Living. I so appreciate you, and please take good care and live the most quietly rebellious life that you can.